So that should fix that problem. Oh, wow. Thank you, Ginger Dory, for completing that level of the hype train. That's a huge hype train to start the show. I really appreciate it. And I want to see the current subscriber count. I know it's a little bit broken on the screen because it says 17, but right now we have 14 subs, but it was double counting a couple of them. So if we can get to 15 subs, we'll unlock a brand new Mew emote that's made. And if everybody wants to use their brand new Fire emote for getting to 10 subs, they can do that too. And one other thing, if we get to 20 subs at any point this month, we'll unlock 2 new emotes. One will be a sports emote, which will be our famous SportsOTHP emote. I will redesign it for season 8. That'll have a lot fancier graphics, some of the Capitals logos, and some of the other cool stuff. Yeah, I appreciate all of our subscribers, and we're about to actually beat our last hype train record, so I really appreciate that as well. So again, one more sub, and we'll get that first goal, and 6 more subs in total, and we'll get that other goal. I really appreciate us starting off with the hype train. With that, I am going to start us on Facebook, just because people are gonna be like, where is he? But I really appreciate all the support on Twitch, and we will start live right now. And welcome to episode 317 of Sports on the Hill podcast. I'm your host, Robbie. I'm here with a live Caps game and a live baseball game. The Phillies are up 4-0 in their playoff game against the Diamondbacks. We've got a live NFL football game, Monday Night Football. It's a 7-7 game. We got a lot going on in the man cave. I'll show you real quickly all the things that we got going on. You can see we've got OBS there. We've got hockey live, and we've got our baseball split screen with the football game. So big shout outs to YouTube TV, giving us a lot of opportunities for doing a lot of new things. We're trying out some new stuff over on Twitch tonight. We are live on Facebook. I'm going to be sharing that in just a second. I really appreciate it. We just got to a level 3 hype train. Oh, wow. Ginger Dory just gave 5 gift subs. So we're was that it? Are we at the goal? We're at 19, so one more we'll hit our second goal. So I really appreciate everyone for it. Thank you for gifting to Arun, who will be on the show a little bit later. Mississippi, my friend Adrian, Titan Rising KM, who's probably watching this game right now, which is Casey from Facebook World. And Kalaska just got subbed through that as well. So and people are saying welcome back, Anna, including Champ in chat. And
thank you.
So,
hi, Champ.
I'm super happy to have Anna and Gil. We're doing a live watch along. You can see the score in the corner right now. There's 14-16 left on my clock. I know that we're all watching at different times. Gil, how much time is remaining on your clock? I am curious.
14:04.
So 14:04. Okay, so we're actually pretty much at the same. All right. So, but maybe I'm at the beginning of a break and you might be at the end. So, or the other way around. But anyway, 2-2 in this game. Power Play Point Podcast is joining us live. They had a wonderful first episode of the regular season last night. I'll have Gil start to give an opportunity. Oh, is that a trip? That's a hook.
The end result is a penalty shot, which is being taken now as I'm speaking.
Yeah, I'll let Gil do this live because he's ahead of me.
So he's heading towards the goal, and Kemper stops him.
Nice, I like it. Now I can watch it myself. If only the NHL let me show the replay live. But that is why you're just getting a score bug. Big stop right there. That makes me happy that we're that close, Gil. I was like afraid that we were quite a far away. So we've got a lot going on in tonight's episode. Again, thank you so much for all of the hype. Let's see right here. We are so close. Subscriber count is still 19. We just need one more sub in the next 4 minutes or anytime in tonight's show. And we'll unlock the SportsOTHP special emote. We're already unlocked the Mew emote. Thank you to my friend Ginger Dory for that. We were so excited. We're both big Linkin Park fans. And today Mike Shinoda came back to Twitch and graced us with showing us how to play his new song live on air, which was a pretty cool moment for a big Linkin Park fan like myself. So it's cool that she's joining us live in chat. And thank you everyone for being a part of the lively chat to begin with. So the game that we were watching started off pretty poorly, 2 goals against, and then we scored the last 2 goals. Anna, give us a scoring update in this game first, and then I'm going to let Gil give a quick little recap of what happened on the podcast. And while you do that, I'm going to share this to a couple of different groups.
Yeah, sure thing. I will say that first period, it was 2 goals by Calgary, and I think all of us who were sitting here watching this, or even at the game, Cheryl Ann, the shots on goal.
Big shout out to C4 who's at the game and 100%. May call in for a post-game report if we can win this one. So we'll see.
She's awesome. But we'll say, I don't know. Like this is our big frustration on at least for me, and I know I talked about it yesterday, that the 60 minutes of hockey. The last game, we saw it in the first period and then nothing in the second and third. And this time it's nothing in the first period. And now they're starting to kind of come back. So I'm waiting for them to find their balance and whatnot. So again, 2 goals by Calgary, but shots on goal, let's just stick with 18 for Calgary and 3 for the Caps. What the hell? So let's hope that locker room time was a big old come to Jesus moment, because coming into that second period, we knew that there was going to be frustration with Kuzi's penalties. They just seemed kind of scattered. You know, everyone wants to dump on Kemper, which I will not do. But man, that second period, we could not have asked for a cooler moment at 6:50 with Matthew Phillips scoring. I mean, oh my God, there's something about him that I'm just, we talked about it last week, and I love it. So he gets his first NHL goal at 6:50, assisted by Milano. Gil and I talked about this before.
What a great pass by Sonny Milano. Just right on the tape, and he almost knocked it out of the air. Yeah. So
Milano being the boss with some cookie sauce.
No, but okay. So just everything about it was just fantastic, and I was like, I couldn't be happier for him. His interview just at intermission was fantastic, and that energy is Phillips is just going to be one to watch. And then here we go to 9:54, Connor McMichael, another one people have been talking about. He must have had, like, who knows what happened off season. But holy crap, like here's exactly who we wanted on the Capitals. Like, there's the speed, there's the skill. He's playing everywhere. He's doing everything right. And he looks in the zone. He's grounded. Like, I'm pumped. So good for him. 9:54 scoring, assisted by Milano and Carlson. Fantastic. So that's where we're at right now. And I also just want to point out, how about that pain train hit by Mr. Tom Wilson? Don't know if you all saw it or not.
I saw it.
I didn't get to see it, but I'm excited that it happened. I was unfortunately putting my son to bed, so I missed a lot of this game, but I've kind of watched the highlights through YouTube TV, but I'm happy that he's playing well. I brought we were doing so bad luck-wise in the first period, which I did get to watch. So I brought down every jersey I have, changed my outfit, did everything before I went upstairs to put the kids to bed, and came back and it was tied 2-2. So I'm like, I don't know what worked, but something worked. So, right. So,
but it was a hell of a hit, Gil. You said you saw it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we saw it, felt it, heard it.
Yeah.
In all of the DMV. So it was nice to see Tommy come back, and a little frustrated with Kuzi, but I think he also is frustrated. But it's time to get his head in the game, and come back and do we know what he can do. And I don't know. You got Backstrom. I don't know. It's just now we're seeing, I'm not going to say it's perfect because it's certainly not, but we're definitely seeing plays that we wanted to see and passing that we wanted to see. That certainly was not the case in the Penguins game, or certainly not the case in the first period.
Yeah. Well, I'm super thankful for my friends helping to complete the hype train and got me to my sub goal. So I had a mini subathon there, and I wanted to do it last month, and Twitch wasn't working for me for a couple of those episodes, and so I thought, you know what, I'll try it once again. And so one thing I didn't even let everyone know, but you've now unlocked the spooky theme next week. I'm going to do like pumpkins and cool graphics on Twitch, and with different Pokemon and animated stuff that'll be popping in and out on the Twitch one next week. So as a special thank you for doing that. Also, I'm going to try to make the new Mew emote for next week, and then for Halloween, the other app too. So one new emote a week. So thank you to the entire Twitch community for coming together and supporting me in a big way. I really appreciate everybody. Just want to give a quick little shout out to the people that gifted. Tina French resubscribed, and also gifted, and where is it? So Tina French gifted, they've resubscribed. Ginger Dory gave 5 gifted subs. My dad subbed with Prime. DC's People's Champ resubbed as well for 22 months, and Carly resubbed for 30 months, which is exactly as long as you've been able to resubscribe. So I really appreciate her support for every month that we've done this show, and then some. And
I wish I knew what you were talking about.
so basically a subscription, real quickly, for anyone that doesn't
you're
know.
excited, and I'm excited for you, and I think it's fantastic that that everyone's out there supporting. And I'm like, my God, I wish
You knew
I'm not
what it was.
ignoring. I just
Right.
don't know what's going on, but it sounds like it's all amazing. And
So
it looks
real fast, a subscription is basically an additional way to benefit the subscriber. They you give $5, and half of it goes to me, half goes to Jeff Bezos for making Twitch, and it helps support the channel, which is huge. But it also gives them the ability to have these little these emojis that I've drawn digitally and animated, and so they get to use them all through Twitch. So it's not only just on my channel, but everywhere. And so a lot of people, I make a lot of fun Pokemon ones and other themed ones, and so people can use those wherever. There's even a cute one of Zach and a cute one of Zara, so my dad can now use those as well. So
that's adorable. Okay, so, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for you. I just
it's a good question.
But thank you.
Yeah. It's funny because we have 2 very different audiences. I have the Facebook Live audience, which is very knowledgeable about hockey and all these things. It's such a different DMV ecosystem than our global audience, where there's people right now watching in probably 10 different states, on Twitch. And so that's such a cool, very different, audience. And it's cool to be able to hang out with both of them simultaneously. And I appreciate all the support that they've given. It's still 2-2 with 8:32 left in the third. Gil, real quickly, you didn't get a chance to talk about what you talked about on the podcast this week, but talk about going to this cancer charity event for just 2 seconds, and what that sort of meant to you. And then you can also direct people to the latest podcast to talk more about that.
I press for time, so I can't go into too much. Obviously, I go into it much deeper. So be sure to catch this latest episode that we just recorded and posted yesterday. It was an event at the Firm Brewery, that's spelled PHERM Brewery, and it's in my neck of the woods in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, in Gambrills, which is pretty close to where Craig Lachlan actually lives. It was a benefit for the Lachlan Family Foundation, and it's a brewery, and it was I think Craig Lachlan put out a beer, I think like 2 years ago. He did another one, and he's calling it Red Locktober. This is the souvenir puck that I got for purchasing a case.
So cool.
And he signed it too. So
that's awesome.
That, see that.
Yes.
But it's called Red Locktober. It's another IPA beer. Go to the Firm Brewery website if you want some details on it. 4 different hop blends. I will say it's the smoothest IPA I've ever tasted. I'm not. I love beer, but I'm pretty far from a connoisseur, I'd say. But if you like IPAs, it might be your thing. So if you can make it down there, definitely give it a go. Give it a try. But yeah, the benefit was great. Got to meet Locker, of course, and Courtney and Linda Laughlin, and they spoke about the charity and why it's so important. And what it means to me is we've got quite a few listeners, not the least of whom both Anna and C4 that and myself too, that have gone, witnessed family members who had to go through cancer. And the Laughlin Family Foundation, what they do is they shine a light on the rare cancers. They don't get the grant money. They don't get all the big research money. And that's why it was created, because Linda Laughlin was stricken with gynecological cancer, rare form of that left her, well, she's still strong, but left her with a sort of impaired ability to walk. And she still gets around just fine, but she's still strong. But she just, the lesson she learned from it was she wanted to make sure that, hey, there's other cancers out there that need the attention of the medical community and the world community, for that matter. So it was a great benefit. I had a lot of fun. End up meeting up with some friends who went there as well. I raised a ton of money. Obviously, had a lot of fun down there, and we talk about it more in the podcast. But I check them out. So Laughlin Family Foundation. Check out their website. Check out Firm as well. It's a great place to chill and have a few beers. They come out with a lot of craft beers every month or so.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and you did a great job describing the stories even more in depth of some of your interactions. And so people should definitely go check out the Power Play Point podcast. They also go over the game that we're unfortunately going to have to go over now. Well, I'll let Anna really quickly describe this home opener to Pittsburgh, and then we'll just kind of move on from that.
We'll just go really quickly. We lost. Yes. So 4-0. And it really the fact that in the first period, so there were no goals, and it was like, okay, and we look good, and we came out, and I think everyone was hyped. The fans were, the players were. It was like, it was time to see what this roster was going to do with the coach, just everything. I don't know. And then, of course, God, I know people can't stand Sidney Crosby. I personally, and Gil knows this, like at a nauseating level, how much I hate Malkin. So here you go. Of course, second period, he scores at 4:07. So he scores, and within less than 4 minutes, here you go with Crosby scoring 2 power play goals, 2 in the second period. And then that ends going into the third. You get Riley Smith at 16:57, and here we are at the 4-0 loss. It sucked. Shots on goal 35-19. Again, not our strength. Face-off percentage, that was my big kind of gripe last year. This wasn't as terrible. It's 55-45%. Okay, but really, not with this team, not in our house, not what we wanted. And it was frustrating definitely to watch. I did see somebody post that they said that the ice is really bad, but I'm like, okay, do we put it on the elements? Do we put it on the players? Do we put it on the coach? Do we put it on the fact that it's just the first game? I don't know. It Friday the 13th, so who knows? Maybe it was just everything.
I agree. The scheduling guys did us no good. I mean,
no good.
We had the longest wait till we got to the opening game. We have to then play our arch rivals who've already lost a heartbreaker game, so they're in more games. They're in game shape too, right?
Yep.
They've been through it and riled up, and then put us on a Friday the 13th, which doesn't seem lucky to begin with, and it's just like I don't know. What were your thoughts on this game, Gil?
Well, I mean, it was just like Anna said, they started like a house of fire, and it was great to see. It made you believe, okay, maybe the season won't be as bad as a lot of folks out there are making it out to be. And then the wheels came off 2 minutes into the second period, and it was just awful. And I think it just came down to Pittsburgh figured out what they needed to do, and the Caps just could not come up with an answer for it. And there you were. And I just wish they had put out more of an offensive effort the last two periods. I think would have made everybody feel better. But like we said on the podcast, 19 shots, like Anna just said, not going to get it done. Not good.
Yeah, not good at all. I've added a Lily Cam live to both Facebook and Twitch because I thought she was very cute. Yeah, it's this game is coming down to the wire. It's 5:54, third period. It's still 2-2 game. We'll have 15 minutes to sort of break down the rest of this. Hopefully, it'll finish in that time period in a positive manner. So the Caps right now, at least on my screen, are in the Flames zone, and we're taking an offensive draw here, and unfortunately, we lost that draw. And the Flames corral and get it out of the zone. So we'll monitor this game more, but I really appreciate everyone for tuning in on both platforms. If anyone has any questions live on Facebook or live on Twitch, they can always ask us in the chat. You can also use your channel points to play fun games, catch Pokemon, and stuff like that. A couple of the emotes I've seen in the commands aren't working. I'm not fix that when I update all the emotes next week. But I appreciate everyone for joining in and being a part of this lively conversation. Again, it's 2-2. It's
I'm
5 minutes.
I'm ready for Tom Wilson to score. I'm ready. I'm ready for, let's see it. Let's go 43 because it's your time. Yeah.
I agree. Gil, who do you think is going to be the hero if we have one tonight? Who are you gunning for?
Yeah, Oshie's already had some great chances. I think it'll be him or perhaps Wilson. He's set the tone physically. I think that's going to be the difference. Gosh, I mean the Caps seem to be lacking some identity. They need to go back to a little bit to their heavy game that they used to play a lot more of 2-3 years ago. And I think Wilson will lead the way in that. He sort of had to tone it down a bit, but yeah, you might see him in there. But like I said, Oshie's already had some chances. Ovechkin, he's kind of been in the background. It's hard to say. I think him and Backstrom are kind of setting things up, if that makes any sense. So I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of waiting for them to, kind of crash the net too, but it's going to come out to some sort of all-out physical effort to put this over the top. So I can't wait to see who decides to push that.
Yeah. Getting nervous in this game. We're down to 4 minutes. I'm just happy that the shots climbed back up. It was a difficult, for a while, but Calgary's put up 38 shots to our 22. And that's kind of an issue in the last game too. I just want to get some of Gil's thoughts on that.
Yeah, I didn't think this would be an issue. If you saw some of the preseason games, a lot more skating, a lot more puck movement that led to more shots on goal. I don't know. I think it's just a matter of getting used to the line combinations and, getting to know each other's tendencies. Everybody got scrambled around. I think Coach Carberry is going to try and stay with some solid combinations. Although right now, if I had my druthers, I would say you love to see them together for nostalgic purposes, but the combination of Ovi and Backstrom, you might want to break those two up. Might want to give more first line time to Strome. Let him center Ovechkin and Milano or Wilson or some combination of wingers that can either play along the boards and or get the puck moving. So it might be time to consider that if they can't generate more offense. I tell you what, the scoring chances they are generating, they're pretty exciting. They're finding the man in front when they decide to crash the net. It's just for some reason they're too few and far between. So they just have to find some consistency. And again, it goes back to knowing who you're playing with. And I think once they can figure out, get their feet under them that way, I think you're going to see a lot more offense generated.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm not. I don't know about these line combinations. I haven't been convinced, by them yet. But it takes some time to gel, and I don't know how long you let it sit for, or you just try a bunch of different things early in the season. And it'll be interesting to see, what the coach ends up doing, with that, because this team is fairly similar to the team that they had last year. They have a couple of different players, but it's gonna be interesting to see how much he gets out of it. One weird thing that I've just was thinking about is this coach is not that many years older than Ovechkin. And so I'm just curious how that, dynamic will play out in the locker room. I know that Ovechkin, seems to have, praise for him so far or whatever, but it's definitely a different situation than a lot of the coaches he's had through his career. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Fortunately, Calgary drew a tripping penalty, I think, or a hook. I wasn't sure. It was a stick, and it was tripping by the aforementioned Tom Wilson. So unfortunately, he's not in the game right now to get Anna's game-winning goal. We got to kill this now. Minute 34 left. Just about 3 minutes left in the third period. So it'll be interesting to see how we do. And welcome on in, Andy. And thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. We got a lot of people in chat. The Detroit Red Wings game just went final with the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-0. Scorebot is letting me know a bunch of these different things. New Jersey Devils also scored. They trailed the Panthers 3-4 with 2:23 left in the third period in that one. Again, the game is tied in the football game at 7-7. And Philly is still up 4-0 in their baseball game. So a lot of games going on tonight. We're monitoring live on Sports on the Hill podcast, but I really appreciate everyone for tuning in and being a part of the show. And where can I catch Gil's podcast? That's a great question. Actually, if you check out the link notes, this was from Troy asking the question. In the link notes on the podcast on Facebook, it actually has the Power Play Point podcast information and links. But I will also do the Gil command live in chat. And then I think Anna's command also works. And they both will make... when you do a command, you do exclamation point and then something, and something will happen live on Twitch. Either a bot will do it or a graphic will appear. In this case, a bot is actually explaining all about your podcast right now while a picture is appearing live on air.
That's so crazy.
Although
I may just use that Anna command as part of our show, Gil.
There you go. But the Gil command does state you can find him on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it this week. Blue Liner 98 there. And then the Power Play Point podcast is what you should search on all podcasting platforms. But if you go to bit.ly Power Play Point podcast, all with capital P's, it'll take you to the page. Also go to sportsothp.com, click our podcast partners button. It's a lot of P's. And you can find all of the information there, as well as we have Team SportsOTHP links that has all of Gil's information, all Anna's information, their Instagrams and Facebooks and Twitters and all that. And then you can, while you're there, you can also get all of Champ stuff, who's live in chat with us as well, and you get all of his information and all of our hosts actually. So go definitely check that out. The No Spots podcast. We'll talk to him about that a little bit. 1:23 left in this third period, still 2-2. We have killed that penalty, which is important to note. And Philly just scored another run to go up 5-0 in that game. And my dad is saying, "Go Phillies!" Basically, the national team North, which he's not wrong. Both the two best players right now on the team are Bryce Harper
and
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner. Yeah, so I'm not going to say there's too much to Carroll, but I'm rooting for them. I was a Phillies fan long before I was a Nationals fan, and when I went to college there, I rooted for them in the 2008 World Series, and they were kind of my National League team until the Nationals came into their own a little bit later, kind of when Jason Worth joined the team, and they stopped having 100 lost seasons. and I started doing a podcast about them, which also changed. But I still do have some love for the Phillies, even though that kills Carol to hear. So it's 2-2, 20 seconds left in the third here. They're digging for it in the corner. The Flames are trying to put another puck on net. The Caps corral that, get it out. Tom Wilson gets the line. 6 seconds left. They kind of get stymied over on the circle. 1-0, and it looks like at least we're going to get our first point of the season as we go to overtime. And just a reminder to our listeners and viewers, overtime in hockey is once again a 3-on-3 overtime, which is quite a fast-paced and crazy adventure for 5 minutes. And if there is no score change, it goes to a shootout, which Gil hates and I hate as well. So exactly. Exactly.
I may vomit.
So anyway, we're hoping that it doesn't go to that, but I'll take the W no matter how we get it tonight. So we'll continue to hope for that. And I'm going to turn off the score bug while we're on a commercial break. Yeah, we'll bring it back with information. So what I'll probably end up doing here is, Anna, I'm going to let you kind of get to go watch the end of it, because I know you need to get close because you don't have your glasses on. And I'm going to probably ask Gil if you wouldn't mind, sticking around through overtime, and I'll probably have Hurt on in just a couple of minutes. We'll switch, and then I'll bring you back on to give the result of the thing at 10, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I can do that.
That would be awesome. And so if anything happens in overtime, we'll obviously break that in. We only have 5 minutes left of this segment, so I just want to quickly look ahead to the week ahead. We haven't had many commercial breaks. Just pulling up the Capital schedule right now. And so their next game is going to be against the Ottawa Senators. It's a 7:00 game on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, we go to Montreal, and that's also a 7:00. So it's a little Canadian road trip. And then we come home next Tuesday to play Toronto, continuing our Canadian trifecta. And I don't know much about Ottawa and Montreal this year, so I'm going to defer to Gil. What are your thoughts on those two Canadian teams and this road trip this week?
Ottawa had a major pickup in the free agent market, and they got Victor Tarasenko. Yeah, he's already got I think at least one goal that made the highlight reel that I saw. So they're not yesterday's Senators for sure. They're going to be a tough out. They're going to battle for one of the last playoff spots, I think. So this is not going to be an easy game. Montreal still kind of foundering, but I don't think they're going to be easy either. But that's probably their best chance for the win this road trip. And but they got some pretty good young players as well. So like I said, that's not going to be easy. And then Toronto, well, we know what they are, but they did something of a retooling over the summer, dropping some big names and getting a little bit tougher with Ryan Reeves. And so a bit of a different look for them, but of course they still got Austin Matthews, who, wow, he's already got 6 goals this year. And so they're still as much of the juggernaut as they always are. So it's going to be an interesting week. See how they prepare and come out. But the games aren't played on paper; they're played on the ice. So
yeah, is this right that Tuesday game is a 6:00 game?
That's so Tuesday. Oh, it's
on ESPN.
Yeah.
Is it going up against baseball? Is that why?
That could be why, because it's on ESPN and the Plus. So that's probably to accommodate baseball, I would think. I think you're right. I think you're right, Anna.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So set your clocks. That's gonna be a hard game to watch, especially because I do karate at 6:00 with Zach.
I bet you get a kick out of that.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
I was waiting for it. So let me. I see we got Hurt in the wings. I'm gonna stop my lily cam for a little bit. I appreciate Hurt for jumping on. In overtime, we got 3 minutes left to overtime, and it's 3-on-3 hockey. Calgary's only put up 39 shots to our 22. We're trying to find a way to score here. We're kind of buzzing in the zone. Anna, any final thoughts on the two? We'll talk about the two games that are coming up first. The Senators game, and then the Montreal game. Do you have any thoughts on either of those?
Unfortunately, I don't really. I feel like it's so early in the season that I'd like to, see a little bit more from all teams to see like who seems like they're just going to run away with it at some point. But I, as always, respect Gil's opinions, and I will just say ditto.
Cool. Awesome. Anna, anything you want to let us know about before we let you go?
No.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Well, anyway, you can definitely check Anna out on the Power Play Point podcast. Again, links at sportsothp.com, the podcast partners button, or you can click on Team SportsOTHP and read Anna's bio, and it has all of her links there as well. And I will do her command again. And so you can definitely check her out on Instagram and Twitter, AKKnox49 on Twitter or X, and Aquanox49 on Instagram. And
probably do Instagram more than the Twitter stuff because I haven't been on it in a while.
Yes, that's fine.
That's
so
okay.
go with Instagram. And I'm so happy you're back. It's the first time we've had you on the show in months. So we hope to have you back on as often as you can give us. It might not be every week, but I know you're always welcome here any week that you have available.
I appreciate that. And let's hope for a win. Maybe my Tommy's going to pull through. If not, I will, at this point, I don't care. I just want to win.
Yes, I agree.
So, all right. Well, Gil, I will talk to you soon, and have a fantastic show. And Champ, so awesome. I'm not seeing you on here right now, but it's always fun to say hi. Yes, Champ is actually in line and wait as a moderator, and he'll be joining us at the 10 o'clock segment right after the Hurt segment right now. But thank you so much. And Gil, I'll also have you jump off camera just for a few minutes, and we'll bring you back with the results after this next segment. Okay. All right. Night, Anna. Good night. All right. So I'm going to do